Hello everybody, welcome to the 12.12 Tarkov patch notes. Escape from Tarkov is currently wiping, and the wipe will be completed around 8 o'clock EST, so make sure to be ready to go then. This video will hopefully be out 2 hours before then, so I'll be live at 8 o'clock for those of you that are watching and want to check it out. On Twitter, they announced that there is a wipe currently. It'll be done in approximately 4 hours. That was 1 hour ago. It'll be around 2 hours after this video is live, so that'll be phenomenal. We're just gonna hop straight into this because there's a lot to cover and I don't want to take more time than I need to. So, Lighthouse. They added Lighthouse, the new map. It is the first iteration of the location. In the future, it will be expanded and include new bosses, which is great. So, the location also has new AI, ex-USEC operatives, also called rogues. They're grouped together, they're basically raiders, and they are located in the water treatment plant and stationed there. So it's basically raiders, but stationary. They're constantly having patrols around, plus they have mounted machine guns and grenade launchers. I would assume that there's going to be tasks regarding them, but a keynote is to notice that they are lenient toward USEC PMCs. They will not open fire upon them unless they try to enter their territory, or if they get too close, they will receive an order to immediately leave and will be shot if not compliant. If a USEC is also in a group with a bear, they will both be considered hostile and attacked on sight. And if a USEC tries to fight them, they'll be considered a traitor and hostile for the next several raids. I'm not sure how many several is, but it's several. Next thing to cover is Inertia. So it manifests itself in the following situations: walking and strafing, sprinting, sharp turns during sprinting, which is referring to zigzagging. So instead of more of a zigzag, it's going to be more of an S, which is nice because it makes more sense. More realism. Landing after jumping or falling from a height, you can no longer just immediately just run. And leaning and sidestepping. The inertial force depends on the weight and of the equipment and the strength skill level. The more your equipment weighs and the lower your skill strength level, the longer it takes, the more stamina it consumes. So it takes longer to accelerate when you're running. It takes longer to slow down after you're stopping. It takes longer to slow down and accelerate when changing direction to the opposite one. Again, that's zigzagging. The stronger and longer movement strength or speed decreases when landing and jumping from falling from a height. So if you're heavier and you have a low strength, you're going to take a lot longer than if you were lighter and had a high strength stat after you jump and need to like stand back up. It also takes slower to lean and return on position when leaning and sidestepping. The specifics of the inertial force starts at 0 kilograms of weight equipment for with characters strength level 0, and from 10 kilograms with elite. The inertial force reaches maximum at 70 kilograms with strength level 0 and 80 with elite. I'm assuming there is an in-between there. That makes perfect sense. And I'm assuming that elite's probably going to have something new at elite to help out reduce the effect of this, although that's to be seen. They also expanded the crouching and getting up mechanics. Now it takes longer how heavy you are, and it drains more stamina the heavier you are and less strength you have. So my take of this is basically drop your bag before you're just going to be crouching and camping for a bit. Specifically for all you rats out there or people that want to keep your gear safe, drop it in a corner somewhere, just hide it, and then just grab it before you leave the area, or come back for it later. It'll probably be fine as long as you're kind of smart about it. They also added new weapon malfunctions, which is the next big thing we're talking about. Along with misfires, they can now suffer the following malfunctions: failure to eject, failure to feed, and a jammed bolt. So, the failure to eject is the cartridge is jammed by the bolt and is partially visible in the ejection port. I'm assuming that for this one you're going to have to clear chamber to remove the effect. With all of the malfunctions, there will be an alert down below. You will be able to mute them. There's also no malfunctions on weapons with durability of 93% and more. I'm just covering that really quickly. Back to the different types. Failure to feed. After firing, there are issues with the new chamber feed, which is grounded and stuck in the mechanisms, the weapon, cartridge rates, etc. I'm assuming for this one you're going to have to check magazine or reload. You may possibly have to clear chamber as well, I'm unsure. There's also a jammed bolt, which is after firing, the bolt gets jammed. There's two types, normal and hard. The difference is the duration of the troubleshooting. Hard jamming only occurs at very low values of technical condition at 5% or below. If you get one down there, let me know how the hell it works, because I'm kind of curious. I'm assuming it just takes a lot longer but again, I'm unsure. So sometimes weapons cannot have certain malfunctions. I'm assuming for this, the top one at my head, the one at the top of my head, Jesus, had a stroke there, is the RFB. You cannot check the chamber of it due to the how it's designed. So I'm assuming the RFB is going to be a lot more powerful early wipe. Now in order to fix malfunction, you determine its type. You can inspect it with the weapon hotkey. Default is L. You can also hold Alt S to get a better view of it. Alt S and L will help it out. Alt S is the keybind for holding your gun out. I'm left-handed, I have to do this every time. But you hold your gun out, and then instead of having it like right in front of you, you have it off to your side. I went the wrong way. You have it off to your side, you're like blind firing on the corner. It'll help you look if you free look over at it. Okay, weapon overheating is also new and been added to the game. The weapon heats up after each shot, and it all depends on your receiver, handguard, muzzle device, etc. And in contrast to that, there's cooling. It's constantly cooling off, and again, it's all related elements to how your weapon is built with the handguards, receivers, muzzle devices, etc. So there's 4 degrees of overheating. There's slight overheating, medium overheating, severe overheating, and maximum overheating. When it gets to maximum, which is going to take a lot, I would assume, a malfunction does occur and the bolt gets jammed. So, back to the slight overheating. At the very least of possible overheating, it's just hot, there's no reddening, it is visible in thermal scopes, and there's possible mirage heat haze from the barrels and muzzle devices. There's medium, which is it's red, and there's a negative effect on your accuracy. The malfunction chance increases, the wear increases, and the weapon's maximum durability is reduced during firing. Severe overheating is weapon's very hot, it's sizzling hot, the weapon's rate of fire changes, and possible cook-off chance, or cooking off chance. I'm unsure what the cook-off is, but if you know, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious. Okay, they also changed the bullet mechanics. In summary, they have less drop-off, and it uses the velocity, and they are now including that in the effect. So the biggest example that they've included is in a 545x39 at a distance of 150 meters. The drop-off and damage was 20%. But when changing the barrel for a longer one, thus increasing the velocity, the damage and penetrative abilities also increase. However, it's worth understanding that for some ammunition, there is no data in open sources, or they are incomplete. Such ammunition will be adjusted as the necessary data is found. I'm unsure what exact ammunition it's relating to, but just know that it's an incomplete thing that they're including in the game. They also adjusted recoil mechanics while shooting. They reduced the automatic recoil compensation when firing long bursts. They decreased the recoil reduction from bonuses and skills, and general refinements and improvements to the weapon recoil system. Next new thing to cover is VoIP. They added it's basically they've added a negative effect for trolls. Your account can get banned or it can just be disabled if you're trolling, like blowing in your mic, etc. It only works in push to talk, and you can only talk for 15 seconds for every 20 seconds. You can mute people, you can disable it with a hotkey, and you can change everything. Scabs actually pay attention to you when you're talking. Your audibility depends on the effects of the area around you, the room, floors, headsets, having a lowered visor, etc. That also includes helmets. They expanded the operational tasks. Basically, there's more variety now in the descriptions. They've added a completed operational tasks on the player stat screen. They have an execute specific extract to the extract to location. And they also have the ability to partially use different types of food and drinks. So there's a whole list there. I'm not going to cover that. They also added quests to Lighthouse. In this, I forgot to mention that they added new storage cases, which is an injector case and a keycard holder. That'll be really nice. As well as rangefinders for all the snipers. You're going to have a sniper and a spotter now, or you can solo spot for yourself as a sniper. But it's going to give you a rangefinder, which is going to be nice. They also added new cartridges, which is new bullets. They added the hand grenades, including impact grenades, as well as some general other effects. There's general optimizations for this. They reworked entirely how screen space reflection used. That's for like water, glossy, and wet surfaces. That's completely redesigned. They added more optimization for vegetation rendered at long distances, which significantly reduces your CPU usage. They added optimization for physical collision objects. I'm unsure exactly what they're relating to that, but I'm assuming it's like books falling off shelves from an explosion. They also have SSR now enabled by default in high and ultra graphic presets, and they also reduced the desaturation of rain, so it's now vivid. They have a large list of fixes. I'm not going to cover all of them. The link to this official patch notes will be at the top of the description. Do go check it out in your free time. I can't cover everything. We're not going to go over all of this, but there's general optimizations and fixes for all of these as well. I'm going to scroll down to the various fixes, which are more important. They've improved the characteristics of some weapons. They've removed the ability to quick throw grenades. When you press a hotkey, your character will take a random grenade out and into his hands from your chest rig or pockets. They've adjusted new recipes and added new recipes, so all your crafters out there are going to have a lot easier time with that. They've changed the conditions for unlocking hideout zones, so before you start grabbing stuff and shoving it in your asshole because you need it for your hideout, double check it and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting, because they've changed it. All keys have a durability now. By default, it's 100 units unless it already had a durability. Examples being the key cards for like the object rooms, the marked rooms, and such like that. Factory exit key is another one. They've changed the starting gear for bots and player scavs, so it's going to have either a larger or smaller variety and just changes in general. They've added balancing to rarity and spawn locations for items. I'm unsure how that's going to affect mark rooms, whether it be higher or lower. We're going to have to find out. They've added fixes to logic and parameter of various weapon attachments, so check the stats of all your weapon attachments. Your former meta builds may not be meta anymore. They've added localization fixes and improvements. They have added balancing changes to task rewards, and you can no longer put all the Chad gear on the flea market. For all you Chads out there, you're going to have to suffer and go and get it yourself. So your best friend is probably going to be labs and going killing raiders that are reserved and killing the bosses and spawning them in at bunker. So thank you all very much for watching right now. I appreciate it very much. This has been the 12.12 patch notes for Tarkov. If you're watching this now and you've made it to the end of the video, drop a comment down below. Thank you for the support. I will be live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time today. Yes, I will be streaming Escape from Tarkov, checking out all the new events, all the changes. Do check it out. I will be live on twitch.tv/OtakuDragon53. Link is in the description. If you're here, you might as well go check out our Discord. Me and 2 other streamer friends play Tarkov all the time and a lot of other games. I also largely stream Counter-Strike, so we have a large gaming community there, as well as a bunch of memes, shitposts, and a whole bunch of everything else. So do go check it out down below. Link is in the description. Do check out my stream. I'll catch you all then, and until then, stay safe, enjoy the patch, and keep on raiding.